tend to believe that it's impossible to grow on YouTube, but it's just not true. Right now, for small channels, the biggest opportunity exists since the advent of shorts. I've grown my own personal channel, Ben Talks Talent, from 0 subscribers to 60,000 subscribers. And in today's video, I'm going to teach you what you need to do that for yourself. Let's go. Now, first things first, step 1, define your mission. Now, when people think about creating a YouTube channel, one of the first mistakes they make is they think, what videos do I want to make? But instead, what I would tell you to do is think about it differently. Who do I want to help? I want you to start creating the idea of the content you want to make with the end consumer in mind. Who are you going to help? What are their problems? What are they struggling with? And what information do you have that can actually help them solve their problem? And if you do this, you are going to grow tremendously quickly. So remember, who are they? What problems do they have? And how are you going to help them solve them? Now, the second thing I want you to do is I want you to nail your first 3 video ideas. So how do you do that, right? Well, it's really important that you're attacking high search volume, low competition keywords. If you can do that, that is like a big first step into making successful videos. Now, when I say that to people for the first time, often they're like, well, where in the world do I start? What do I do? Easy and free. What you can actually do is you can go to YouTube and type in the search and start typing out the title of a video you think makes sense, right? Like how to tie a tie, how to fix a deck, whatever it is, right? And it'll actually start pulling up search terms below, and it'll show you things that people are searching. And you can actually look at that and find video titles that you can attack. Now, there are tools you can use that make that super efficient. I personally use vidIQ. It is amazing. It gives you daily suggestions on videos you can make. And I use that. But before I had that tool, I would actually use the search functionality to give me actual ideas on videos to make for YouTube. By the way, if you're interested, you can go down to the description box and I have a link. You can link that to get a discount and start using vidIQ. Okay, so you've got a video. What I really want you to do is I want you to focus on hook, title, and thumbnail. I will actually start creating the concept of a video by starting with a title. Title is literally where I start. I think about titles that people are going to click on, titles that will get people to be curious, curiosity, avoiding pain, that type of thing, right? And then I will think about what a good thumbnail is. It is so important that people click your videos when it comes up on their For You tab, right? When YouTube suggests your content, it's important people click it because then they will share your content with more people. And no matter how amazing your video is, if you don't have a great title that elicits the desire to click on it, and you don't have a thumbnail that stands out, people aren't going to actually click on your video. And hook is really important because people who watch YouTube increasingly have a shorter attention span. So if in the first 10 seconds, you do not share something compelling with them that makes them go, I need to watch the rest of this video, guess what? They're not going to do it. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to focus on retention. Retention is really important. So one of the things that YouTube tracks is what percentage of your video do people watch before they leave. This is really important. You want to aim for like 60% and above. Now, how do you do that? Well, one of the things that I found incredibly helpful for me as I scaled my first YouTube channel was the 8-second rule. And the 8-second rule basically means every 8 seconds, something needs to change for the viewer. Now that could be a zoom in, it could be text appearing, it could be a sound, it could be music, it could be B-roll footage, it could be anything. But if for longer than 8 seconds, you're just standing here, you have the same shot, there is nothing different, there's no zooms, there's no letters, there's no noise, there's no anything, you are going to lose people. So it's really important, obviously, to have great content, right? Having great content is incredibly important because you want people to want to watch the end of the video. But it's really important that you focus on every 8 seconds having some sort of change. You don't want to make it like nauseating, but little things, tiny zooms, words popping up. If you can do that, that's great. If you feel like 8 seconds is too much, well, at least do it every 20 seconds, but make sure you do that. The way you make videos is also really important. For example, when you make a list video, which are incredibly important, and you say 5 tips for doing this, what you might want to say in the beginning is, make sure you watch to the very end, because if you miss even one of these tips, It might be the reason you don't succeed. Something like that really does motivate people to watch to the end of your video, which will increase your retention and increase the amount of people who see your video over time. Now, you really need to be ruthless when it comes to prioritizing data. YouTube is really amazing in the sense that they provide you a ton of data on the back end. When you go to your YouTube homepage in your studio app or your studio webpage and you look at the data, you can see how long are people watching your video. What is the click-through rate? And once you start to have enough videos there, you can see which videos did better. What videos are people watching for longer? Which titles and thumbnails have a higher click-through rate? And whatever you see, whenever you see one that is successful, you want to repeat that, right? If you see someone, one of your videos that has like twice the click-through rate than your others, you have to think, okay, well, what did I do there? What did I do differently? And can I repeat that? Can I make a similar video? Can I use the same sort of colors and icons and visuals in the thumbnail? Doing that is going to help you grow. The next thing I want to talk about is consistency over perfection. And if you listen to anything that I said in this video, make this be it. People have a tendency to not move forward because they don't want to move forward until something is perfect. And I have to say, that is going to absolutely kill your progress. Here's what I did when I started my first YouTube channel. I said, I'm going to make 3 videos a week for a year. And if at the end of that year, I don't feel like it's been worth it, I will allow myself to stop making videos. I didn't wait till they were perfect. I didn't wait till I knew that it was going to be the best video of all time. I just started. I started that day and I went and I filmed a couple videos, filmed another one later in the week, and just made sure consistently that I did that. 9 months in, I was monetized. And that took a long time compared to how I wanted it to because I'm impatient. But I said to myself, look, way out in the future, this is the horizon. I'm not stopping until I do that. So don't let perfection be the enemy of progress. When I look back at my first couple of videos, I'll be honest, the thumbnails were terrible. The titles were not SEO friendly, nor did they really motivate people to click on them. And when I look at the editing and the way, the production value, it was not amazing. But starting is the best way to learn. Like actually making video after video after video, that accelerates your ability to learn and your ability to become better much more effectively than just thinking about it ever will. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to think about the people who view your videos not as just viewers, but as an audience and a community and people you can have relationships with. One of the things that I think is endlessly frustrating is when someone starts a channel and they get a couple comments and I look and they do not respond to those comments. When you were a smaller creator, 500, 1,000, subscribers, and you have comments, there is no reason to not reply to every single one of those comments. Here's what happens when you reply to a comment that someone posts in your YouTube video. They feel seen. They feel like, wow, when I comment on one of Ben's videos, Ben responds to me. That is important because you want those people to look for your videos. You want them to engage. Not to mention, YouTube views that as people engaging with your content, which means they are more likely to share your content with a wider audience. Make sure you are responding. Make sure you are engaging with people. Now, if you want to grow even faster, what I want you to do is I want you to watch this video here. This video here is some of the strategies that really allowed me to grow when I started my channel. So I'm done here, but I will see you over there.